Hello, hello! Today in this video, I will be explaining the top 5 most confusing phrasal verbs. And I will be also showing you guys how we can use them. So first of all, let's talk about these phrasal verbs. So these are always quite confusing for ESL learners due to various reasons. So first of all, they do not follow a literal meaning. So if you have a phrasal verb, for example, to give up, if you take these words individually and try to figure out the meaning, this is very difficult to do because the phrasal verb together, they often have a different meaning than the literal one of those words used to make the phrase. So that is the first reason why they are confusing. The second reason, as I just said, there are various meanings for these. For example, to take off, there's like 4 different meanings for this phrasal verb. So when we are learning English and you're trying to learn, okay, this means this and this means that, it becomes very confusing because you'll start to realize, oh, this means that, and it also means this. So that is another very confusing aspect of these phrasal verbs. There are other reasons why as well. The word order has to be very specific to make them work, and then to know what situations we actually use them in is a whole other part of the knowledge as well. So today I will try to make these easier for you by going through the top 5 most confusing phrasal verbs. And I'll also be showing you how to use them properly within each context and sentence structure. So let's start with take off. So we have 4 different meanings for this one phrasal verb. So first of all, to take off, we often use this with airplanes. When the airplane goes up into the sky, this is called the takeoff or lift off, some people say too. So that is the most common way that we tend to use this phrasal verb. The plane takes off. But then we can also use it as an action, right? To take off also can be to remove something, like I take off my shoes, right? This is to remove our shoes from our feet. We can also use this in our career advancement. So if you are working, let's say for example, a school, to take off in your career means that your career starts to get better and better and better, right? You're starting to improve, you are getting to the top of that school. So in business, in our career, in our lives with jobs, we often use this as well to say that our career is doing really well. My career just took off. Means that you are doing very, very good in that job. And then the last way we use this is someone take off, like they run off, they run away. So we can use this, he was caught stealing money and he took off when the police came. So this means that he ran away as fast as he could when the police came. So to take off is very confusing, obviously, because we have the 4 different ways to use it. But just remember, when you are using these phrasal verbs, it all depends on the context. So obviously, if you were at the airport and you're talking about airplanes, then we know that is the takeoff that you are using. However, if you are talking about your job and advancements in your career, then we will assume it is the other meaning for takeoff. So it all really depends on the context in the situations that you use these phrasal verbs. That's how we know the difference. Next, we have put off. To put off. So again, this one has multiple meanings, as always in English. So to put off means to be discouraged about something, like the smell of the food put me off from eating. This means that the smell was so bad that now we don't want to eat any of the food. So that is a way we can use it. But also to put off means to delay or postpone something. So we can say, I was so busy at work today, I had to put off meeting with my supervisor. So in this sentence, put off means to delay. We do not do it right away. We will wait some time before we are able to do that task. So again, has multiple meanings, but just remember, again, it relies on context. Number 3, get over. So this one is confusing as well because there's no literal meaning for this. It's all metaphorical. We are not getting over anything. This just means to recover from something or someone. So we recover either emotionally or mentally. So we can say, he got over the flu last weekend, or I got over the breakup, right? This means to recover, to do better. But we can also use this as an emotion of amazement or very, very joyful, happy emotions. For example, if I saw a movie that was really, really amazing, I could say, I can't get over how good that movie was. So this just means I cannot believe, right? I'm so amazed by how great this movie was that I just saw. So make sure, again, that you are using the correct phrase depending on the correct context with this one. Number 4, make up. Again, many different definitions for this one depending on the context. So for this one, we do have the literal meaning of makeup. This is the stuff we put on our face to feel more beautiful. So we can say she put on her makeup on her face. But then we also use it for various situations that are very much not related to each other, which again, is super confusing if English is not your first language. So we can also use this if two people get in an argument or fight with each other, to reconcile, to be okay again after having an argument. This is also when we use make up. So I can say, my 2 friends had to make up with each other after their big, terrible fight. So that's another way we use it. Also, if we invent something new. So he can make up a new way of telling time. So this is another way we use this. And lastly, it is also used in a way of compensation. So if we missed something, let's say you missed writing an exam in school. So then we have to make it up. We have to do it again, but at a different date. So, for example, you can say, can I please make up the exam from yesterday? I was sick at home, so I couldn't do it, right? So, again, 4 different meanings for this one. You really have to make sure you understand all of the different meanings and in what situations that we actually use them in. Lastly, number 5, to turn up. So this one has 3 different meanings. We already know the literal turn up, like increase. Turn up the volume just means to make the music louder. So we have the literal meaning of turn up. We can also use this for lights. Turn up the light, turn up the volume, turn up the sound, turn up whatever. Then we also use this if we show up to an event or a party. You can say, oh look, my friend just turned up. And then the final way we use this is if you find something that you have lost for some time before. So if you suddenly find your keys on the couch in your house, you can say, oh, my keys finally turned up. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 most confusing phrasal verbs that we use in English. So the key to really getting to know them and understanding them is to make sure that you know all the different definitions we use for them and when we use them in the different situations. So if you can connect the situation to the phrasal verb and the meaning, then this will help you be a little bit less confused with them. Hopefully this video helped everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.